Hi guys, Ali Taylor down here at Heron's Reach, and in today's video I'm going to talk about a training aid that I think might just be the best I've ever seen for helping you to get a feeling of how you're going to get that lovely contact of ball and then ground, hit your irons pure, compress your irons, and just make it so easy to get good feedback and therefore really get this spot on every single time. Right, so that was some opening, wasn't it? So the training aid that I think, by far the best I think I've ever seen, that's very affordable for you guys at home watching, are the Salted Golf Smart Insoles. Now, these go in your shoes and these help show how you move your weight around during your golf swing. And even though all the top players' swings might look a little bit different, they all do certain things particularly well and very, very similar to each other. And it's how they move their weight from the top of the backswing halfway into the downswing that really guarantees that they're going to move that low point in front of the ball and strike it well. Now, I think a lot of golfers understand this is what they need to do, but they can't always feel exactly what it is that they need to achieve, and therefore find it very, very hard to repeat. Now, in my coaching, I use something called Body Track, but there's pressure plates and things that really give some great feedback to golfers as to how they move the weight around, how quickly they move it, and how much they move into trail foot or lead foot. But these can be very, very expensive bits of kit. Now, I'm not going to talk necessarily about price because I think it's going to be a little bit different throughout the world with these, but I'm going to put some links in the description below, so wherever you're watching in the world, you can see how much these would be. But I'm going to hit some shots, what we would look for with a good shot, what I think a lot of golfers do, and then I'm going to show you how to use something like these Smart Insoles to help you strike your irons better than ever before. Right guys, so as ever, I'm going to demonstrate some feedback with TrackMan. So I'm going to hit just a normal shot to begin with, show you how I deliver the club into the golf ball, talk about what's great about how I deliver it. I'm not saying I deliver it perfectly, but generally speaking, I get that ball and then ground contact and get a decent distance on the shot. So as I set up to the golf ball, just 7-iron in hand, off we go. So it felt a good solid strike. We can see my low point was 3.4 inches after the golf ball. Angle of attack, the club was moving down 3.4 degrees. A decent smash factor at 1.33 and my carry at 153.2 yards. Right, so where these Smart Soles are really, really good is you basically order your shoe size. If they're a little bit out, you can actually trim just around the top, and you then literally take your trainers, your golf shoes, whatever you're going to use them with, take your insoles out, slot them in, really comfy and dead easy to pop in there. So the reason these are so important, and like I said, I use kind of Body Track in my coaching sessions, but the Body Track pressure mats can be thousands of pounds, which doesn't become something massively affordable for everybody watching. Whereas, like I said, these are a very, very different price point. And the one thing these allow us to do is see how we move our weight, and more importantly, how we move the pressure in the ground around during our golf swings. Now, what we generally see with the best players in the world is that at address, they will have just very slightly more pressure on their lead foot. And as they swing back, the pressure moves into the right side, but not a huge amount. And then on the way down, by the time the hands get down to about waist height, they have at least 70% pressure in that lead foot. That's moved their lowest point, their center of pressure forward of the golf ball. As the pressure keeps going, they then are able to get ball and then ground. And that's where we hear a lot about kind of golfers hitting down on the golf ball. I don't like golfers to try and hit down. I think as long as you control your low point, the club will be traveling down. the further the low point is forward, the more the club travels down. And the top players in the world really do this fantastically well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a shot very much how I see a lot of club golfers hit it. I'm going to give you some feedback from TrackMan, but I'm going to give you some feedback from the app on my iPhone, very much the way you would video your swing. And then I'm going to show you how little practice drill, you might hear it at the moment, kind of when my pressure gets 70% into my lead foot, I get a beeping noise and I get a little buzz in that foot. So it's a really good kind of feedback for you as a golfer. And even though that was a good shot, we can see my low point was just very, very slightly after the golf ball. The club was going down, but I've lost quite a bit of distance there. The smash factor's dropped down. And if we look on the app now, we can see kind of just as I am about to start my golf swing, I'm slightly more favouring my right foot, which is what I see with a lot of golfers. As I swing back, we see a huge shift into that right side, which is actually pretty decent. But then as I start down, we see the weight staying on that right foot. My centre of pressure is actually staying back. We see the club head overtake the hands. And then as a result, we struggle with that shot. Now, I would say I actually kind of got away with that one a little bit. What I see with a lot of golfers is obviously they get that low point behind the golf ball. They either hit the ground first or they miss the ground and the club travels up, they thin the ball or top the ball. So I think a lot of golfers are very, very aware now that that first movement from the top of the swing needs to be across to that left-hand side. But what most golfers don't do is kind of push into that lead foot hard enough or early enough in the downswing to really make a big difference. So like I said, what's great with these insoles is you can preset that left foot, that lead foot will buzz as 70% of your pressure is in there. So a great little feeling is that you get to the top of your backswing, as you start down, feel that you push hard enough that I can definitely feel I really have to push very, very hard to do that. So I would do a couple of practice swings. Now that fell maybe a little bit late. That was good. And even for me, bearing in mind I do this pretty decently, I still think I'm a little bit late with how I do it sometimes. So again, we're going to hit another shot, video, get some feedback and show you what a difference getting the feeling for the swing can do, but also what a difference it's going to make to those shots. So I'm going to set up, I'm going to try and feel just slightly more left-sided at address. Definitely felt that buzz there. Decent strike, little draw. So we can see there, my low point was 2 inches after, 2.2 degrees down. So my smash factor went up and my distance also went up. And as we look on the app, to see very slight, just slightly more pressure at address onto that lead side. As my weight moves, maybe a little bit less. And we see the weight already before I get to the top of my backswing starting to then work back towards the left. As I get halfway down, over 70%, and then continues pouring into that left side to get that really crisp contact. So I've already had a few of my pupils use this, and the thing they particularly like about it is something they can do even at home. They don't need to have that club in their hand. They can get there, swing back, get that lead foot to kind of very early on vibrate, and then they can feel that they can push through that. And like I said, I just love the fact that it's something that you can get some feedback of doing while you're at home. Obviously you can't play in competitions with this, but I think the more you can get ingrained into that, the easier it becomes to get that ball and then ground contact. Not only do you pick up distance, but accuracy and the enjoyment from hitting your irons like that, you know, making it more like the best players in the world is really going to help you be much, much more consistent. Right then, guys, so like I said, I think personally, this is one of the best training aids I've ever seen. Undoubtedly, there's going to be more and more stuff like this come out. And I will just clarify, I haven't been paid for this. I've bought these insoles myself. So this is a genuine comment from me as a coach. Already 2 or 3 of the guys I work with are using these. I use these a little bit with my own game just because they're maybe a little bit easier for feedback than some of the body track stuff. But this is just a really, really good training aid. And I think if you're somebody who spends a lot of time working on your game and it's something you struggle with, getting that ball and then ground contact, you know, why would you not look at investing in something that gives you good feedback so that you make sure you can exaggerate a movement enough to help you get the best results possible. So like I said, guys, I'm going to pop a link below in the description. If you want to check them out, go in, have a look. I'm not sure on delivery around the world, but they got to me very, very quickly. I think it was like 3 or 4 days. Straight into play, dead easy to use, and the app on the phone is so straightforward, explains through what you need to do and what you need to understand. And then equally, if you're working with a coach, this is something that helps give good feedback to help you improve your game as quickly as possible. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's content. If you have, like it and share it, comment below. Let me know below if you've already got these. How did you find them? Did you find them as good as I have? If not, why not? But if you have enjoyed today's content and you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking the button below, ring the notification bell, then you find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.